Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we have 5 new Kubeys here, so let's check them out. You guys know I love my Kubeys, and here's a Kubey I opened up the video with. Awesome little Kubey. It's a little chunker. Looking at it, I wouldn't have thought how much I'd like it, but I like this thing a lot. The way your fingers lay in these grooves makes it to where your pinky actually has a place to land, so you have crazy amount of grip right here without having anything hanging out the back. And you can choke up a little bit. Very, very smooth. The thumb stud and detent work phenomenally. And the access to the lock bar is amazing. So, great knife. All right, so here's the first one. I haven't sharpened this one yet. This one's still on the factory edge, so give it a break. All right. Check that out. This is the KU210. Very smooth. Small knife, drop point blade. We do have a great reverse flick. Nice little fuller there in front of the hole deployment. Good access to the lock bar. Easy to get past the detent. Still breaking in. Deep carry clip that is reversible. T8 hardware. T8 or T10 pivot, one of the two. The detent's a little bit on. Maybe not. Maybe it just needs to be flipped a few times. I thought it was a little light, but maybe not. No. That's a solid detent without being overly strong. Small, compact. This little curve right here. My finger kind of lands on it, but it also lands right past it. I do feel the clip quite a bit. Not a big deal, but I do. I can thumb flick it. Great jimping on the spine. Lots of traction with that jimping. Yeah, very cool. Let's check out the next one. Oh, so I technically already have one of these, but this one is like a Stormtrooper edition or something. This is the KU322. This one's a white one. I love this knife so much. Oh, yeah. These things are, damn it, these things are good. Not only are they just insanely smooth, but the way the flipper tab is designed, how high it is above the pivot, you have a ton of leverage to flip this thing. And the hole lands in a perfect spot for the thumb flick or the reverse flick. Yeah, this is solid, man. This is such a good knife. It's so broad and a good thickness, so it feels like you're holding on to like a fixed blade or something. And you can always choke up. The blade has good geometry. I'll check the thickness behind the edge really quick just for you guys. It is, because I know a lot of people have this knife, 18 thousandths behind the edge. Not too bad. And it's a broad blade, so, you know, the taper down to the edge is really good. This thing slices great. Early detent, easy to get past. Stupid smooth. I love this knife. Reversible, deep carry clip, T8 hardware all the way around, and I believe it's a T8 pivot. All right, let's get to the next one, because I could gush on this one all day. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, so we have green micarta, a G10 backspacer, or is it G10? Yeah, G10 backspacer. Big stop pin back here. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, this is, I like it already, but let's check it out a little bit longer. I love this teardrop effect. That makes it really comfortable in the hand. You get a lot of leverage in your pinky and ring finger when you're holding it. You have a ramp right here with good jimping. You can technically choke up for push cuts and stuff. Now, Is it a front? Oh, it's a front flipper too. Now, I do kind of wish the front flipper was a little bit taller, but I mean, it works. I can do all the tricks and stuff. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, it's easy to break. The detent meaning with the leverage you get on the flipper tab, but it feels like it's going to be small, but then it's not when you use it. The blade shape is very interesting. It is, it's kind of a mixture between a spear point and a drop point, but it's a drop point blade with a beautiful swedge on the top. Nice thick blade stock. It is a robust blade. Seems like something that's going to be made for a little bit tougher stuff. It is a manganese design. We have AUS 10 steel, reversible deep carry clip, T8 hardware all the way around, easy access to the lock bar. But man, when you when you unlock it, there's no flipper tab there. The detent is nice and early, so it's always past the detent, and there's nothing in the way to block it, which I kind of like. So there's no fumbling around on anything. When you unlock it, it's just dropping. I love it. All right, let's get to this next one. Okay, really quick. I just checked the thickness behind the edge on this one. Now, the thing is that it is very thin behind the edge, but it gets thick kind of quick because the thickness of the spine is right here. So it's actually 15 thousandths behind the edge. But the blade stock thickness in that thickest point is 121 thousandths. You know, so going from 120 thousandths down to 15 thousandths, you got to kind of do it dramatically. So it's an example of a robust blade. Now we have this guy. We have one more after this one. Is this the same knife we already did? Just a different version? No. It looks very similar. There's no fuller on this one. The hole deployment's different. Ooh, it's a Tanto. Cool. That's dope. That's badass. This thing has a solid detent. Very snappy. Good access to the lock bar. Easy to thumb flick. Same ergos as this guy. We already talked about that. You do have a choke up spot. I probably like the drop point version better, but this is cool though. You know, if you like Tantos, you have a secondary tip, a drop point primary tip. So this is actually pretty cool. This is going to work really good for EDC, and the reason why is because of this tip. If you look, a lot of Tantos go straight right here. So the tip is all the way up here where the bottom of my finger is. In this case, this one goes down. So you can easily get to the tip to do, you know, to open things up or whatever. You could use the secondary tip. You can choke up for push cuts. You can do these pinch grips really good. Yeah, this is going to be a solid little user for a Tanto. Some Tantos, if they do them right, they are super, super useful, especially for EDC. Let's get to the next one. This one's cool, man. Ooh, solid. Oh, 14C. This one's 14C 28N2. See? I was going too fast. These are both 14C 28N steel. Love to see Kubey doing that. Great steel. Nice stainless steel. Super tough. It does really good with fine edges and fine geometry, I should say. You know, thinner blades and things like that. And it looks almost like they polished this edge a little bit from the factory. Now, 14C is not a super steel, but it does hold its edge for a good long time. It's easy to sharpen, easy to strop. It's very responsive to strops. It's somewhat of a mid-grade steel, but you can get it for an affordable price, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Let's get to this next one. All right, so I didn't even tell you guys what the last one was. The last one was the KU314E. Oh, no, that's this one. This one was the I already showed you guys on the screen. All right, let's get into this one. Oh, this looks like this one with a full bolster. Am I right? Yes, it is. Very cool. This one's in G10 though. This one's in Micarta. I'm surprised they didn't do this one in Micarta since it has the bolster. But we have a copper bolster, VOSTEED steel. Nice big hardware, man. I love that. So we have an VOSTEED blade, copper full bolster, G10 backspacer. Stupid smooth, and look at this stop pin, man. Great size stop pin. Now, my one problem is I don't like where it lands, but I was gonna mess up my pad. It lands right there behind the edge. It is nice and big too. So I don't know. It'd probably work out just fine, but I prefer stop pins to not land there because it can hurt me putting in a choil in the future if I ever want to put in a sharpening choil or something like that. Is it that big of a deal? No, it's not, but just something you have to think about. This one adds a little bit of weight. Not bad though, not too much, actually. No, I hardly notice. So the little bit of copper they put on here does not add really hardly any weight. They have nice gripping on the disengagement of the lock bar, so it's easy to disengage. Detent, great. I mean, the access to the thumb studs is really, really good. How far out they are. So when you're gripping on this, you have a ton of leverage on the thumb studs, whether it's from a reverse flick or a thumb flick. Centering is a little bit off. Not much, though. Before we do get out of here, let's talk for 1 second about VOSTEED. What's the deal with VOSTEED? So VOSTEED is a good steel. It's a budget steel, high budget steel. So low, mid-grade, high budget. And I mean affordably wise. Now, it is considered on like a list of steels. It's going to be more towards the budget side for edge retention, but on the high side. So it's going to get good edge retention, decent edge retention for most people. It's great in the kitchen. That's one thing. It has good stainless, plenty of toughness. It's a easy steel to sharpen. It's also an easy steel to strop. Now, I have had issues with it from other companies, but Kubey has always done a good job with that. I've never had a problem with Kubey's VOSTEED. It's always sharpened up really good. Grit-wise, you can put a polish on it, but it will lose its bite, somewhat. Not super quick, but it can, and you're going to have to, continuously strop it. Now, if you put a medium grit edge on it, like 600 to 800 grit, the bite is going to last quite a bit longer, like a lot of steels. So VOSTEED has the ability to take a good polish at a low angle, but at a high angle, it might not do as good. So you might want to lower your angle a little bit if you're wanting a lot of bite. Now, it sharpens up really easily, though. So you do not need diamonds to sharpen VOSTEED. You can sharpen VOSTEED on an aluminum oxide stone, on natural stones, or anything like that. It's an easy. Now, if you do use steel, it's going to sharpen up faster and quicker and everything, of course. And it does good on either one, though. It just might take you a little bit more time on the aluminum oxide. Now, if you have a really coarse aluminum oxide stone or natural stone, then it'll be just fine. It'll go just as quick as the diamonds. But you are going to need an aggressive stone. Diamonds just bite so much stronger or harder into steel to make it sharpen up so much easier. Now, I'll say, man, these things are ridiculously smooth. But there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.